there's a simple shift that lets thoughts vanish without a trace. And that is precisely what we're going to look at in this video. What we can acknowledge, first of all, is that many people report that their thoughts don't vanish. They seem to stick around. And the reason for why that is the case is essentially because we have invested a lot of meaning into our thoughts. We have created a very specific kind of fixated attention that is constantly latching onto them. And why do we do that? Well, for the simple reason that somehow, strangely, maybe even without knowing it, we have created the habit of orienting to our thoughts in order to feel safe, in order to form a stable identity on which we can rely. And because this is the relationship we may have to our thoughts, thoughts now have a very primary role in the way we experience ourselves and in the way we encounter the world. So, knowing that thoughts have this primary role, we don't simply try to make all thoughts dissolve now. That kind of proposition will sound very scary if we have invested a lot of meaning into our thoughts. So we're going to proceed very lightly and gently by just giving our thoughts a bit of breathing room. Right now, maybe there are thoughts present that are struggling, that are somehow trying to figure this out. So how would it be to simply give these thoughts some space? Just become aware of the sounds appearing all around you, arising and vanishing in this openness. Switch to a soft panoramic view, just relaxing the eyes a bit, creating more space in the visual field. And likewise, just allow thoughts to arise and dissolve, arise and dissolve. And we're simply resting here in this simple presence. And what we are seeing right now, just very lightly, is that it's safe to be here. Right now, we are not hooked on thought, and yet we are seeing that the sky isn't falling. It is okay to relax that problem solver, that manager, and to simply be in the simple presence, just appreciating this basic okayness that is here right now. And as we are resting here, we are again just very lightly noticing the nature of our thoughts. Thoughts, contrary to what we often believe, are not a solid thing. Thoughts are here, as a matter of fact, for no time at all. Just see right now how precisely the thought that is here right now is immediately vanishing again upon its arising. Thoughts are an ephemeral appearance in this openness, showing and dissolving at the same time. And likewise, we're just becoming curious about the space out of which thoughts are rising right now. Just become aware of the strange nature of thinking. Where are thoughts coming from? What is the medium out of which thoughts are rising in this instant? Notice how this space out of which thoughts are rising right now is not findable as an object. It is empty of all qualities. And likewise, just notice into what thoughts are dissolving right now. They are simply arising and dissolving in this presence. This presence is not an object of experience, and yet it is not separate, it is not other than the very distinct appearance of the thought. So thoughts are empty of any inherent substance. They are a showing in this awake openness, but the essence out of which a thought is made simply cannot be found. So in this fundamental way, thoughts are light. They are here for a timeless instant, arising out of this openness, and in that same moment dissolving again in this openness. And does any of that require any doing on our part? Is this something we need to make happen? Well, clearly it is not. Regardless of whether we are efforting very hard or we are fully relaxing, thoughts are simply self-liberating on their own accord. Nothing is required for this to be the case. It is just a basic truth of experience. So what do we need to do? What is that magic shift to make thoughts vanish? Well, it's already happening. So what is there to do but enjoy?